This tutorial fast and easy, simple on men's double pleat trouser pattern cutting. Here is I will skip some technical guideline how to make men's double pleat trouser pattern. Here I will use 7 measurement on trouser pattern cutting. And we seeing the measurement. This 37 waist, 34 hip, 38 high, 23 quarter high, 20 and half inch leg opening, 13 and half inch, 5 inch ply, 2 slanted front pocket, 2 back pockets, single. Let's go pattern making. Waistline, create half inch seam margin, high 23 quarter, less 6 inch divided by 2, 18, 58, 858, 858, say 37 divided by 2, 18 half and plus 2 inch 20 half inch this knee position, 20 half inch knee position. Trouser length 37 half inch plus 2 inch 7 half inch plus 2 inch seam margin. Hip line, thigh and cross point, knee line, leg opening, waist, thigh, knee and bottom. Half inch mark, hip is 38 divided by 4, 9 and half inch, 1 inch seam margin and 1 and half inch front cross width divided by 2, 6 quarter inch, 12 and half inch and divided by 2, 6 quarter inch and 6, 7, 8. Right. One inch seam margin, waist is 34 divided by 4, 8 and half inch and 1 and half inch. That first plate 7, 8 and 1 and half inch gap, second plate 5, 8 inch, total 1 and half inch. Pocket length is 6 quarter and 1 and half inch. Front cross shape, leg opening 13 half inch divided by 4, divided by 4 and 3/8 each of green line, 6 3/4 inch, making inching like seat. Pen. Now I make it back part based on front. Get 3/4 down, front to back down 3/4. Back side, see, based on the margin of that area, also 1.5 inch extend at the area. Here extend 3 inch at back cross here. Is 38 divided by 4, 9.5 inch, 9.5 inch, 1 inch seam margin, and 1/4 inch plus. Back in seat. Create seam margin. Create seam margin. Create seam margin. Create seam margin. Waist band height 1.5 inch. Front and back 1.5 inch. 2.5 inch. Measure with waist band 2.5 inch and tape 38, or if high is 43/4, 3/4 with seam margin. One is half seam margin and 3/4 is done. First is 3 and 1 plus. Back pocket position, 3 is down. 5.5 inch. 3/4 and 5.5 inch. Done. Quarter is extend and back nice area. Here 3/4 extend, back nice area. Oil swing from top, back, twist, right. Some extend reduce and minus. Measure thigh. 11.38 or reduce 1 inch. 11.38. I is 24 half inch plus and 38 half inch signal also. Select that as of part. Center back. 4, 3. Side bottom half.